Welcome to the Temple of Flame. On today, Faithful Acolytes, we take a look at this.
And what this is from Gindo's, it is the strawberry basil or Basil hot sauce. We got strawberries, habaneros, and extra basil. I don't really feel like basil comes through super strong in this, but with herbs, you wouldn't necessarily want that too forward, I wouldn't think, with this.
Meats and poultry, egg and bacon, grilled kebabs. Grilled kebabs. That would have been kind of interesting. I might need to explore that at some point if I can find a good Mediterranean place that is doing nice kebabs. Or possibly a Middle Eastern place. They do wonderful kebabs as well. Pulled pork. I presume they mean like taco, or not taco. I presume they mean like barbecue for that, and of course tacos as well. So certain tacos, like a chicken taco, I could see it. Beef, I don't know about that. Let's take a look at the old ingredient panel. We have red bell. We have distilled vinegar, water, strawberry puree, habanero, organic cane sugar, Himalayan salt, LES salt, black lava salt, basil, 4 peppercorn blend, and xanthan gum. This very bright, vibrant looking sauce with bits of the strawberry just kind of hanging out in there. Strawberry sauces, I think, go kind of one of two ways. And they either tend to be very desserty, like a strawberry syrup, or it tends to be much more subtle, like it. Strawberries are something I think you really have to put some emphasis on for the most part. Otherwise, they can vanish fairly readily. This one actually kind of straddles the line a little bit. And they didn't mention ice cream on here. But I think for, most of in particular the berries, most of the berry type sauces, to me it's always a thought. What if this went on some ice cream or other desserts? So, yeah, I mean, it's a really nice looking sauce. It does tend a bit towards orange, though. It's not just that vibrant red that you get most of the time with strawberry. There is definitely a little bit of a moving away from that into more of a hot saucy vibe, I guess. But let's get into it. Strawberries are very much there, but they're balanced by the flavor of the peppers and by the astringency from the vinegar. And it's kind of an interesting balancing act. It's only a habanero, so it's not like crazy hot or anything like that. And then on the back end, you get a little bit of the herbaceousness of the basil. It's not always the case in hot sauces, but in this one, the salt is a bit forward. I think just because it contrasts with the sweet of the strawberry flavor that we're all, at this point, probably very, very familiar with. I think everybody is, certainly strawberry stuff shows up quite a bit out there. So And this one has that nice freshness to it, though. It does taste like fresh strawberries, which I do appreciate. So, because it's not overly sweet, it actually is one of the few strawberry sauces that I think does very well on this, which is chicken tendies. So we'll just throw some of this on there. A lot of times, like I wonder what to do with the strawberry sauces because they don't always work like in this application, for instance. And chicken tendies are so easy. So for me, they're always going to be in rotation. And here's where that sort of not super sweet aspect of this kind of comes into play. It melds very nicely with this. So you have a sort of back hint of the strawberries. And it allows some of the other flavors to kind of come to the fore a bit more and interact with the breading here. It's a very interesting dynamic and a really interesting approach. I think as well, if you got one of those strawberry salads at some of the places like to trot out every year, this would work extremely well with that. Bring this up a little higher with actual strawberries. And it's usually fried chicken that they have with those salads, I think. It's very nice. Most of those have a lot of time have a dressing that is a tad on the astringent side with vinegar base and so on. This will work well with that if you like a little heat in your salad. Which I usually do. A few things I think always go well in a salad. A pickled olive of some kind. A boiled egg or two. A little splash of heat. No matter the salad, I don't think you ever go wrong with those. Although I am referring to like a lettuce salad, not like a chicken or tuna salad. Some bed of leafy greens, anyway. All right, so this is kind of one of those, I view the sauce favorably, but I honestly can't say I really love it. I do think it's a very interesting approach, though. Where strawberry and basil, the two flavors the sauce is named after, are kind of back a little bit. But I mean, suppose you don't call a hot sauce vinegar. All right, so I got this. Which is a apparently expanding. I don't know what's going on with this. Why are we expanding here? We have an expanding tub of. I don't know why it did that. That's weird. Expanding tub of chocolate chip ice cream. And usually, you know, I'll get like, my favorite is probably cookie dough. Usually I keep, like if I'm doing a lot of heat challenges or whatever, I'll keep the regular vanilla around. This has a really odd texture to it. Dreyer's. Yeah. Well, we'll get a baseline here. Anyway, I can't tell you the last time I bought chocolate chip ice cream. But I got on this little kick and I'm like, you know, it'd be really good. That I haven't had for a while would be chocolate chip ice cream. And the one I wanted wasn't on sale. So it was twice as expensive as this one. Which is why I wound up with this Dreyer's slow turn business instead of the one I had in mind. This one is very astringent. This sauce. And so it's kind of interesting here. I'm getting the flavor of peppers, astringency, and salt. And the strawberry is kind of decided to leave. I mean, it's certainly flavor cancellation is something one can run into. Because they start with red bells, the flavor is actually quite good here. Of the peppers, I'm getting a lot of the habanero and red bell. This is definitely not a definitely not a good ice cream sauce. I could see it working. I wouldn't. I don't think I want this on eggs and bacon. Meats and poultry. I don't know what meats they mean by that exactly, but I don't know that I would really put this with red meat. I mean, it might be interesting to try. The ones that's, I think, more interesting to me would be like the grilled kebabs or the pulled pork. Well, it kind of depends, I think, on where you're getting the pulled pork from. I can see where it would work with the smokiness a little bit. But some of the pulled porks out there don't need adornment. A lot of the time, pulled pork will be flavored itself. So I guess it'd be interesting, maybe on a pulled pork sandwich, possibly. It might be kind of fun to play around with this. I mean, you can see, I obviously don't dislike the sauce. Like, it's another, Gindo's, even the sauces I don't like as much as some of the other ones, are always interesting. They're always flavorful. And I feel like there's always a thoughtfulness behind them, but I don't always understand the intent. And I think that's kind of where this one's falling for me. I think like the salad, I think, is really where this would shine. Like on a strawberry salad with a strawberry vinaigrette, this would be fantastic. Just kind of right there. It's quite good on chicken. I do like it there. But I think that's the majority of where I've had it, actually. Just like strawberry is, for me, just something that every time I get a strawberry sauce, I run into this also is, trying to pair it and say, okay, well, it's like cranberry. I like kind of it in very narrow culinary areas for the most part. But I might go track down a grilled kebab to try this on that. I do think that would be interesting. Pulled pork, I don't know if I'm going to get to before I run out of this, but possibly. I mean, it's certainly worth a go. The sauce does have a good flavor to it. It just isn't necessarily like what I would think of when I think of those things, I guess. But definitely, if you like strawberry sauces and you don't want it on the sweet side, this would be an excellent one to check out for sure. And I really, really I'm a big fan of red peppers. So I don't really mind that and the habanero are kind of coming to the fore here a little bit. And I do like the back note of strawberry. I think it's kind of interesting, the approach here for sure. Again, I'm not getting a whole lot of basil out of it, but that's fine with me. I don't know that I really need to have that as a big component of what we have here. So, but we'll just leave it right there. So that was the Gindo's Strawberry Basil Hot Sauce. Now go forth in peace to serve the flame.